hamsters. Today we're diving into the story of OpenAI, a story with more twists and turns than a hamster wheel at full speed. From its humble beginnings as a non-profit with a big, bold mission to the boardroom drama that's been all over the news. And now, well, it's a whole different ball game. We are talking about a company that's turned into a for-profit powerhouse developing AI with superpowers.
I got superpowers!
And yeah, a bunch of famous people are now asking, hey, can we hit pause on all this? Is OpenAI still that cute little hamster we all cheered for? Or has it transformed into a bit of a villain in the tech world? Grab your sunflower seeds, hamsters. It's time to burrow in. But all villains come from somewhere, which is why this academy will start with a pretty notable origin story. OpenAI was founded back in 2015 by a group of researchers, entrepreneurs, and scientists. Among the most notable, Mr. Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Brockman, the previous CTO of Stripe, and Peter Thiel, who came together with a notable mission to build safe AI. In theory, AI that would guarantee a wide and even distribution of its benefits. In 2016, it was reported that the company, despite being a non-profit, was paying corporate-level salaries. However, many big names were drawn in based on the people and the mission alone. But it was in the next few years that a number of notable shifts came into play. Elon Musk left the company in 2018, and the company created a for-profit subsidiary that began raising billions from investors, including Microsoft, who invested $1 billion itself. Then in March 2019, OpenAI went from being a non-profit to a capped profit company, essentially a company with a cap on the amount of profit that can be guaranteed, which occurred under the name OpenAI LP. Production on AI continued, and pretty soon OpenAI was ready for mainstream adoption. On November 30th, 2022, an early demo of OpenAI's ChatGPT was released. This wasn't just any chatbot. It was like a hamster on a wheel, but instead of running in circles, it was generating human-like text in nearly every style and genre you could imagine. We are talking about everything from casual chit-chat to professional specialized topics. And get this, ChatGPT wasn't just a clever talker. It was like the hamster who didn't just run on the wheel, but figured out how to take the wheel and ace high-level exams like law, medicine, and business tests. Naturally, the chatbot had quickly gone viral on social media, with the world learning just what AI could do. Early trends including travel planning, and more recent trends including prompting AI to tell someone insights about themselves. It was only 5 days later that the chatbot had attracted a whopping 1 million users. 2 months later, ChatGPT had 100 million users in what was believed to be the fastest growing consumer internet app of all time. With AI, and in many cases ChatGPT, now a part of everyday usage, some questions began to arise. Namely, what were some of the risks to society and humanity as a whole? In March 2023, this questioning was led by some pretty big names who quickly began hitting the brakes, asking for training of the superpowered AI systems to be paused, and not just for a little snack break. They wanted stopped for at least 6 months. Why? Well, they're worried that things are moving so fast they could soon be a threat to humanity. These bold voices have come together, signing an open letter warning about the risks of AI going full throttle. Twitter's own Elon Musk is in the mix, along with Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak and even some deep mind researchers. All of them are saying that AI race has gotten a little too wild and needs a timeout.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay?
Imagine ChatGPT as a hamster trying to roll its wheel to new places, but suddenly the cage bars are going up left and right, stopping it from moving forward. ChatGPT was quickly blocked in a number of countries including China, North Korea, Russia, and Iran. This was followed by Italy, the first Western country to pull the plug. Their decision stemming from some pretty serious privacy concerns about how ChatGPT is handling your info. The AI model created by US-based OpenAI OpenAI and backed by Microsoft apparently wasn't playing by all the privacy rules. Think of OpenAI as a hamster in the cage who used to run on the wheel all out in the open, letting everyone see how things worked, but now they've pulled the wheel behind a curtain. People are getting uneasy about the lack of transparency around how their groundbreaking products are actually being developed. I mean, they were all about open source software, but now it feels like they're keeping things a little more under wraps. Not exactly the open book they promised, right? While things on the outside were heating up, changes on the inside were just as inevitable. In November 2023, things took a wild turn when Sam Altman got the boot from his position by the board of directors. To the public, it was announced that Altman wasn't exactly straight with them in his communications.
Liar! Liar!
Then, just like that, Greg Brockman followed suit and bounced from the company too. But as it turned out, things has been squeaky for more than a year. Altman and the company's board of directors had been bickering like hamsters fighting over the best spot on the wheel. At one point, Chief Hamster Sam Altman made a bold move to kick one of the board members off the wheel. Why? Because he thought a research paper she'd co-written was throwing some serious shade at the company. Meanwhile, another hamster on the wheel, Ilya Sutskever, wasn't too happy with Sam Altman. He thought Sam wasn't always being straightforward when chatting with the board. And then there were a few other board members that were getting nervous. They were worried Sam was more focused on running the wheel faster and expanding OpenAI's reach, while they wanted to make sure they weren't forgetting about the big issue, keeping AI safe while it grew. But here is the kicker. Just 3 days later, on November 20th, 2023, both Altman and Brockman were scooped up by Microsoft. Talk about a quick turnaround, huh? And then another 2 days later, and it was announced that Sam Altman would once again return to OpenAI as the CEO, only this time with a new board. Talk about an Uno reverse, hamsters, huh? A full 360. Of course, the AI tool is still under the gun on a lot of things. For starters, OpenAI developed an AI personal assistant voice, which Scarlett Johansson said sounded oddly similar to hers. Her lawyers went on to ask the company how they were able to do this. The actress said that Altman at one time had approached her to ask if she would allow her voice to be licensed for the ChatGPT voice assistant, to which she declined the offer. Of course, this was only one of the questions that was raised. Names like Billie Eilish, Nicki Minaj, Stevie Wonder, and more musicians had all come together to demand protection against AI, ChatGPT included. In September 2024, Sam Altman got the official slap with a villain label. And you know what they say? When you're on the wheel, the higher you climb, the harder you fall.
Oh, that's terrible.
Mr. Musk wasn't holding back either. He took to Twitter comparing Altman to the sneaky little finger from Game of Thrones. Yep, he said Sam was just like the ultimate behind-the-scenes schemer. Talk about a sharp jab from a fellow hamster. Musk has continued to be reported as stating of Altman that he doesn't trust him.
How do you answer these charges, Lord Baelish?
And throughout several lawsuits, the Tesla CEO has accused Altman and Brockman of deceiving him about the direction of the company since they started from the non-profit mission of OpenAI in pursuit of commercial interests. So, hamsters, now that we've got you chewing on all the twists and turns of OpenAI's journey, what's your take? Is it a hero story or a villain origin? Or should we keep sniffing around for more clues? Thanks for joining today's Academy. Be sure to subscribe and remember, hamsters are power. One for all and all for one. Bye!